This is the Horace Eye video tutorial. The tutorial is always a video you're learning, so I want you to create the exact thing I'm showing you in the video. This example would look like when you finish. So you have 3 layers here, right there. I'm going to go, this is actually called the layers panel. You have them open so you can see the different layers. Okay, so the draw here layer has the black lines. I just turned it off. Just like in Photoshop, you have the visible, invisible, guideline layer of light blue lines. And then the Horace layer is the gray lines. So now I turned everything off. So this is an example of what it looked like when you finish. Let's go to Canvas and get started. So first off, you're going to actually click on, this is the video that I'm creating. And we're going to click on, so you can follow with this video. So you're going to click on this link to actually get started with it. So you can click on the down arrow to download that. When it comes up, you can click on Horace and then open up Photoshop. You see, like, yours only has 2 layers. I'm going to show you what to do. So the first thing you have to do is I'm going to show you like these toolbars. Maybe the toolbars are missing, kind of thing. So maybe like these are open or these are kind of gone or something like that, you know. Then what you can do is actually go to Workspace, Window, Workspace, and Essentials Classic here. So if you already have reset, if it's already checked here next to Essentials Classic, you go down to Reset, and it reset back to the original setting. And this is what we want. All the videos I'm using all have Essentials Classic. Okay, this is the layers panel you need to have, and this is the selection tool, the black arrow tool you start with. Okay. The first things we're going to do is click on View, and we have to go to Guides, and then Show the Guides. These are the light blue lines. So now I click on the rectangle tool right here. This animation shows you what you're doing. Now this cursor shows you I can't draw on this layer because this is actually hidden. So I need to click on the Horace layer to draw here. So I click on the Insert. This little purple text layer shows me that it's from the intersection of these lines. So I can drag up there. So it needs to match up with that. This line, this box, and this box, it should be like it's a perfect circle there. And that's what I want. So now we're going to use the selection tool. Oh, I'm sorry. And then this box right here, I need to go into View. I need a Guides, and I'm going to make it a guideline. So I need to use that light blue line like that one. So now I can use the selection tool. This is actually selected. That's why you see the handlebars and everything. And this, you click out here, and that means it's deselected because that's on the blue layer. So when I click on that, it's now selected. It's on the blue layer, so you can see like it's highlighted blue. And this is deselected. So what you want to do is we're going to actually do and select things. But first off, we need to actually make sure to have 2 horizontal lines. So this is my example, to have 2 horizontal lines. Okay? And this is with the toolbar. So if you don't see the toolbar like this, you have to make sure and turn it on. So click on Rulers, View, Rulers, and then Show Rulers. So this is Show Rulers. Click inside the top ruler bar, click and drag down to like this anchor point right here. Shows the anchor point. That's the first one. Then click on the top ruler bar again, drag your line down, and it should be the bottom anchor point. Like your mouse. Okay? And now we're going to do actually the selection tool again. Now we need to select all those light blue guidelines. So if I click and hold my mouse down, I can draw a little selection box over these first few lines and become blue because they're on the blue layer again. So now I need to go and just select all the squares. So again, I'm going to add to my selection, I have to hold down the Shift key, click and drag a little selection box over this one. So that one's now blue because it shows it's selected. Then click and drag a selection box over the second one. So I'm not selecting anything else but the light blue lines. So I'm just crossing one line, just dragging a little box, Shift, and that should be selected. Now the fourth one, Shift, and drag a little box, selection box over that box selected. Now all the light blue lines are now now they're actually blue, and so this blue square just means they're selected. But I want to put them on the layer. I'll put them on their own layer. So create a new layer. Double click layer 3 to kind of change it to Guides. Change the name to Guides. G-I-D-E-S. And enter. Now this little blue square, click and drag it up to that guidelines layer. So now it's actually guidelines layer is the green layer, so that would be all come green. Okay, that may actually shows it they're on their own separate layer. So I can lock that layer. Now I need to go and so I need to select everything that's back on this blue layer. So if I click on that circle right there, it selects everything else that's on that still on the Horace layer. So the light blue lines are still light blue, and they're not been selected. Okay, so it shows me like you're only selecting things here. So I need to go to opacity, change it to 30%, and choose OK. The light blue lines to give me kind of like outline to start with. I need to lock it now. So this cursor here shows me now I just locked it, so I can't draw here because I have to have the draw here layer selected. Okay, and I have to have that visible. So it needs to look like this. So now I can actually draw them. So we're going to actually just trace over the light gray lines to create this kind of Horace Eye. Okay, so just like Photoshop, I can hold the Alt key down and scroll the wheel on my mouse to zoom in. Okay? And we're going to start with this curved little section here. Start with that with the, it might say line segment when you start with, so you can go into Arc tool. So I'm going to click where it says anchor point and drag a little, so it actually should cover up the light gray lines. So you got like the one shape there. So now we get the second one, go for the anchor point, go up here to cover that. Okay. So I'm just showing you, for instance, if you make it something, changes, and you're making the line and it doesn't actually come in like it should, all you need to do is actually grab this eyedropper tool and click on the ones you want, and it should make all of them just like that one. Okay. Now we're going to the selection tool and deselect everything. This is on the red layer, so now it shows me that it's selected. I want to deselect that, so nothing is selected. Now when you go into the join tool, it's actually just selection tools 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It should look like the shaper tool when you first off. Click and hold it down to the join tool, and I want you to circle where these lines cross. So you draw a little circle, doesn't matter, just as long as it's a circle, and it joins it together. So now you actually click and hold it down to grab the line segment tool. Click on the anchor point, down to this anchor point. So it needs to say, this one says intersect, so it needs to be like light blue line. So now we're actually going to hold the the spacebar key. My cursor changes to hand. I move it over a little bit more. So now I go back to the arc tool. Okay. So click on anchor right here, and down here where it says anchor on that. So you see like the purple words say anchor point right there. So now it's actually filled in. So now we're going to go to this is called the spiral tool. Click all the way down to the spiral tool. Click once on the screen. It should say these settings: 50 points radius, 77 decay, segments is 6, and you need to have the right style selected. Okay, so choose OK. And then you're going to rotate that. If you choose the left side, it's going to be the wrong spiral, the wrong direction. Okay, so make sure it's on the right side. Selection tool. If you grab just that anchor point, it's going to give you this. Your cursor is going to look this, but you want to just go just out, and that's the rotate tool. So click and hold it down to rotate it. Now you're going to hold the shift key down to make sure it's actually perfectly straight up and down. Now you can actually click there and drag it over. So this is where it is. Now you're actually going to make that shape fit there. So you can just grab the top anchor point, drag it up. This anchor point comes out. This anchor point comes out again too. And then we're actually going to, it's a little bit wide, so we're going to make sure it says 10 points here. So this is what we want. Okay, so deselect everything. I just click out here. Now click on this arc tool first, hold the shift key down, and we're going to click on the spiral tool. The spiral with straw. So now everything's selected, we're going to right click and join them together. The way you know it's joined together, if you deselect everything, and if you click on this, everything actually is selected now because you joined it together. So now we're going to hold the shift, the spacebar down, and move over to this right here. So this is actually called the polar grid tool. Click on that tool we just did, grab the polar grid tool, then you're going to click in the center here, where it says center, and drag it out a little shape. So it should say 3 different circles. If you grab, while I'm still holding my mouse, if I go up, it's going to increase the number of circles, and down, it's going to decrease number. So I just want 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay? And then the lines here, you might start with actually this many lines. Click on the right arrow key, increases the lines, left arrow key decreases. Okay? So I'm still only doing my mouse the whole time, and now I can hold down the Shift key and the Alt key. So I can hold them down both together with my left hand. And then I go to this anchor point right here. That's what I want. And I let go of my mouse first, and then let go of the Shift and Alt key second with my left hand. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is click on the selection tool, hold my Shift key down to select this also. So basically all of those need to be selected. Now I'm going to actually use the shape builder tool, this tool down here, the shape builder tool. This animation show you what it's going to do. Okay, click on that, and I want you to actually just highlight where it says this grade in, just that little portion up there. So click there, and that's all I did. Okay. Now click on the direct selection tool, which is actually just a white arrow tool. It grabs parts of the image, not the entire thing. So now you want you to just deselect everything out. So everything is not highlighted when red. So you want you to just have just this little section. You have to go over, highlight over that. So select it. And now you're going to actually hit backspace key twice. And then what you can do is zoom out, Alt key, and scroll out. Okay? And that finishes it. So now you can click turn it in. So you click on File and Save As, and save to your computer. And you want to, it's already named as Horace, so you want to actually click Save and rename it. Okay. Now we're going to go back to Canvas and turn it in. So when you go back to Canvas here, I've already turned it once. So a new attempt. And then I'm going to click Choose, and then Horace, what we just did here, click Open and Submit. That's it.